Today we're going to explore the cell and its many organelles. This video focuses on the cellular structures that microscopes have revealed and describes the functions in a living cell. It is important for students to learn about cells because they are dynamic, moving, living systems. As we learn about their parts, remember that the phenomenon we call life emerges from the arrangement and interaction of components of a cell. This video clip shows the inside look of a cell in a real human body. This cell happens to be a thyroid cell. Take a look at the organelles shown in the cell and how they function to survive. The nucleus is the cell's genetic control center. The nucleus contains most of the cell's DNA and controls the cell's activities by directing protein synthesis. Eukaryotic chromosomes are made up of material called chromatid, which is a complex of proteins and DNA. Enclosing the nucleus is a nuclear envelope, a double membrane perforated with lined protein pores that control the flow of materials into and out of the nucleus. The nucleolus is a prominent structure inside the nucleus. The nucleolus is a site where a special type of RNA, called ribosomal RNA, is synthesized according to instructions in the DNA. Mitochondria are organelles that carry out cellular respiration in nearly all eukaryotic cells, converting the energy of food, such as sugar, to chemical energy of a molecule called ATP. Basically, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Without it, the cell couldn't function. Ribosomes are the cellular components that carry out protein synthesis. Ribosomes are found in two locations in the cell. Free ribosomes are suspended in the fluid of the cytoplasm, while bound ribosomes are attached to the outside of the endoplasmic reticulum or nuclear envelope. The rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes attached to the surface. The bound ribosomes produce proteins that are modified and packaged in transport vesicles. The rough ER also produces membrane by adding proteins and phospholipids. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum lacks bound ribosomes. Its functions include lipid synthesis, destruction of toxic substances, and regulation of muscle contraction by the release of calcium. The Golgi apparatus is known as the mail service of the cell because it packages and ships products to be delivered elsewhere. Specifically, the Golgi receives transport vesicles that bud from the ER and that contain proteins synthesized by ribosomes attached to the ER. The Golgi finishes processing the proteins and then dispatches transport vesicles that secrete the proteins to the outside of the cell. A lysosome consists of digestive enzymes enclosed in a membranous sac. The name lysosome is derived from two Greek words meaning breakdown body. Lysosomes are known as the recycling center because they break down damaged organelles and recycle their molecules. For all cells, the plasma membrane forms a boundary between the living cells and its surroundings and controls the traffic of materials into and out of the cell. A membrane is a phospholipid bilayer with associated proteins. The hydrophilic heads of the phospholipids face the water on both sides of the membrane. The hydrophobic tails mingle in the center, making the layer very fluid. The cytoplasm is everything inside a cell between the plasma membrane and the nucleus. It consists of a semi-fluid medium and organelles. Vacuoles are membranous sacs that have a variety of functions. Central vacuole also helps the cell grow in size by absorbing water and enlarging, and it can store vital chemicals or waste products. We conclude this video with a project made by high school biology students at the conclusion of their unit on cells. It shows how they grasped the concept of a cell and presented it in a creative way. We hope you enjoyed this video.
The cytoplasm is a jelly-like structure that holds all of the cell's organelles together, except for the nucleus. Surrounding the cell is the cell membrane. It controls what goes in and out of the cell.
The cell membrane is made of phospholipids, which have a head that is hydrophilic, meaning they love water, while the tail is hydrophobic, which means they're scared of water. Their behavior with water makes them form a structure known as a phospholipid bilayer. The nucleus is surrounded by the nuclear membrane, which contains small openings called nuclear pores, through which ribosomes can enter and exit the nucleus. It also contains the nucleolus, which is in charge of making ribosomes. It also has chromatin, which kind of look like spaghetti, and contain DNA.
Surrounding the nucleus is another structure, the endoplasmic reticulum. There is rough ER, which synthesizes proteins, and smooth ER, which makes steroids and balances calcium levels. Substances can be transported from one place to the other through the ER. All around the cell, floating in the cytoplasm, are the Golgi bodies. They are like tiny factories that package and prepare ribosomes for export. Mitochondria are like the powerhouse of the cell. They are organelles that take in nutrients, break them down, and create usable energy for the cell. More active cells contain more mitochondria.
But this one isn't very active, so one will do.
Microtubules are part of the cytoskeleton and provide support to the cell. Little bundles of microtubules are known as centrioles. Also, microfilaments are part of the cytoskeleton and provide support to the cell as well. Small organelles like lysosomes have a big job inside the cell. They have enzymes that break down substances and release them back into the cell. Ribosomes are tiny structures that make proteins. They are found either floating around in the cytosol or attached to the rough ER. Last of all are cilia. Thousands of these tiny hair-like structures are around the cell and help the cell move around. Each cilia can move independently. Animal cells can also move by using a flagella.